Adam should come out, and Kathy. I like both of them a lot. Women can all, there's no transgender people going to play in the WNBA. If you don't like it, kick rocks. The WNBA is for women only, period. I'm always support the gay community and the transgender, but that doesn't mean they can play sports against women, period.
What refreshing common sense. Amid the ongoing fight to protect women's sports, the WNBA reportedly says former NBA players Enes Kanter and Royce are ineligible for the 2027 WNBA draft. Front Office Sports reports the WNBA made that determination, but didn't explain why. The league's unnamed sources dismissed the duo's draft declarations as, quote, simply publicity stunts, saying they don't want to give oxygen to an effort to mock or demean the league. The WNBA has seen nothing but controversy over the past few months, from protests over male inclusion in the female sport to the league not defining what a woman is. Kanter says if being female is one of the league's rules, he's ready to play.
Are you a trans woman?
Listen, Section 13, right? Article 13, Section 1 says if you identify as a woman, then you're allowed to play.
So you are identifying as a woman tonight?
I identify as a woman, sure, yes.
Okay.
So I can play.
But they're never going to let you play. Why
not? I mean, that's the rule. That's the rule that they put, and I'm just following the rules.
Jeremy, I love that he's exposing the ruse that is the lack of rules and policies of the WNBA. What makes him a publicity stunt? Because I think it's a publicity stunt for any man dressed up in woman face and a skirt to just claim a title by playing in the sport. And I don't know why all of a sudden the league has the ability to determine credible transitions and credible identification when, to most of us, it's all nonsense. Isn't that the point?
Yeah, I mean, well, first off, let me just say, it is very rare that I agree with Charles Barkley on anything, but I will give him some points for that. He actually did have at least some clarity on this issue, which, by the way, should not be a hard thing to do, just to say that the WNBA is for women. But it's amazing that the WNBA can't say that themselves. But to your point, though, I mean, what they're going to try to do is, I think a lot of us were hoping that this would be an opportunity for the WNBA to finally actually have this kind of conversation and come out with a specific policy and to say that, no, we're going to define and say that women are women and this is only for women, or at least something closer to that than what they've been doing so far, which is this kind of mealy mouth and playing into this idea that, you know, transgender women can somehow compete. But what I've realized that what they're trying to do is make this all about Enes Kanter and Royce and other. They're trying to make it so that, you know, this is just one specific case and we're not going to allow them to play, but they're not going to engage in the larger policy discussion, the larger issue that which is at the core of this. And they don't want to talk about it because they have no backbone and they have no ability to say to say 1 + 1 = 2. They can't even do that. And so they'd rather just make this all about, well, this is just a publicity stunt and just not take him seriously rather than actually engage in substance. And that's what many of us were hoping that this would lead to.
Why are we intellectualizing or trying to intellectualize this publicity stunt? It's pathetic. It's ridiculous. What are these guys even trying to do? I really don't get it.
Well, they're trying to call out.
They're trying to play by the WNBA's rules.
That's right. Come on, guys.
It's exposing the nonsense. Look, if you have a policy that you can't say what a woman is, but you have two men that are trying to, they're pushing back against that, and they're the ones that are being silly?
No, it's exhausting. If they wanted, this guy, whatever his name is, wants to be Big Willie, he should support and fight for bigger salaries for female athletes and for the coaches. So I don't get this.
What's actually exhausting for a lot of people is men taking over women's sports, and it happens all the time, particularly at the high school level. It's also because when some of the female players in the WNBA, the entire point of which is to have a separate league so that women can play, when they said that they didn't think men should compete against them, the owners and the coaches of the WNBA went after the female players. So this is in response to the insanity that is men competing in women's sports. And it is kind of ridiculous that you have to do stuff like this, but you have the Associated Press says, if you're a man who claims to be a woman, we're going to call you a woman. So you'll read all these confusing stories about men with female pronouns, and everybody's having to deal with it, and a lot of us are sick to death of it.
I mean, conflating.
No, but how is this any less ridiculous than a man who claims to be a woman, maybe more legitimately, trying to play in a women's sport team? How is that any more ridiculous? So they're the exact same thing.
Yeah, listen, to be clear, I don't think that biological males should compete against females who are biological females. I do not support that.
So then if the end result of this, let's say, stunt is the WNBA coming out and saying, okay, you know what? Actually, you're right. Men can't compete in our league. Then how is this not a good thing? How is it not a good thing to force them to live by the rules that they're claiming to represent? I mean, this is a complete loser issue for them, and it's because they're cowards and they don't want to address it directly. I mean, the fact that they're reportedly coming out and saying, no, they actually can't compete in the league, but they don't want to explain why, when they could literally just point to the very first letter in their league's name, it just shows that they're too cowardly to actually do anything about it. And look, everyone else, yes, has moved on from this issue because it is such a colossal loser for the left. Even AOC is trying to distance herself from it, you know, claiming, oh, woke one, that was crazy, which I think is disingenuous on her part. But there's a very clear opportunity here for the WNBA to follow the example of other sports leagues like the NCAA, the International Olympic Committee, World Swimming, that have already made a stand on this issue and just simply do the right thing. And I think that it's a matter of pride at this point. They don't want to admit that the left got this wrong, because then they would have to admit that conservatives got it right.
So are you as compassionate about getting women paid to, you know, bigger salaries?
They have their own league. They have their own league.
I know, but see, Jeremy, that you're shaking your head because this is all confusing. I think
no. There's nothing confusing to me about a biological man trying to compete in a women's sport. To me, that's not confusing. It's just wrong. And the WNBA has an opportunity here to get it right and to set the standard for other sports around the country. There's nothing confusing here. It's only those who refuse to admit the truth.